Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to be back. Welcome, welcome. I am Michele Amburgey. I am the Awakener, and I am one of many. If you are being drawn here today, most likely you're an Awakener too. And when I talk about being an Awakener, it doesn't mean we're some elite group of people who are here to wake up the world or wake up someone in particular. What it is we're here to become more aware of who we truly are as sacred and holy beings, of beings that the presence of God, of love within ourselves is there. And as we wake up, we begin to open the space for others to love themselves too. And so it's super, super cool to be back. Thank you, Karen, for being here. Linda, thank you, thank you, thank you. So nice to be here. I've been doing a lot of work. I've had a lot of uploading of information coming in, starting some new programs and some new projects. So it's really fun. Really quick, just for some housekeeping, I am going to be on here. It was originally called Spiritual Chit Chat. I feel like the name is calling or is changing, and it's probably going to end up being called Angelic Starseeds because that is kind of where my work is moving. I'm starting a new program. I've got oracle cards in the making. I've got a new healing modality coming up through it. There's all kinds of stuff that I'm getting ready. And that's all going to burst on the scene after the beginning of the year. But between now and then, we're going to have a lot of fun getting ready for it. So I will be here for this show, which is currently called Spiritual Chit Chat. It may change. I haven't got the complete, like, yes, do it. The first or the second Tuesday of every month. On the third Tuesday of every month, we're going to be doing Bridge Walkers. And I have a new show that's going to be coming up for you guys too around healing and using energy healing. Hey, Miss Jules, and happy 8/8 Lionsgate, the Lear and Lion Stargate opening of Ascension. For those of you that are into Ascension, into that process, that pathway of Ascension, we are in it. This is a lot of people have said, this happens every year. It's no big deal. Where this year, it's a huge deal because this is the year where the timelines are beginning to shift, where we're shifting out of the Fibonacci timeline into the Christic timeline, where we're actually going to get out of the finite timeline, the Fibonacci. It's a natural timeline. It's a 3D timeline. There is nothing wrong with it. But those of us that are here to truly ascend, we're going to skip on over to the Christic spiral that's going to spiral us up and out of the finite into the infinite and into the 5D. So I'm going to be teaching a lot more about that kind of stuff too. So those of you that are into that, who are really here for the Ascension thing, make sure that you subscribe, you put on your notification, and you get notified when I'm here every once a month for that teaching. Also, I'm teaching a lot about this stuff in my Wednesday meditations. Every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm in California. We talk a lot about this, and we do some really deep, what would be called channeled meditations around really waking up and being prepared. This 8/8 Lionsgate is the opening before the massive expansion, we'll call it, in November. So a lot of teachings around that. So I really hope you join me. Come on, check out, go to my website, micheleamburgey.com, click on Conscious Living Academy tab. And what you're going to do is you're going to find my calendar. You're going to find upcoming events. You're going to find information on all this stuff of what is happening and what's going on. I'm here as an awakener to be someone who is walking people through the ascension process. I too am going through it. It's not like I know what I'm doing 100%, but I am connecting into that information, connecting into that ancient wisdom through the DNA encoding in my body. And that's what I'm here to teach you guys to learn to get into that. And that's what a lot of the meditations that we do on Wednesdays are about. So a lot of you guys have joined me in those meditations. So it's super cool. And it is every Wednesday. And I know that what happens is when you make a commitment to do something every week, it really gives you a boost. Your frequency, your mental health, the ability to do self-care, and absolutely, spiritual development up the wazoo. and also just well-being, you know. So I hope you guys will join me over there. And I also have a membership that includes that meditation. And the membership is you get weekly uh, angel messages. You get the weekly meditation. We have a monthly meeting. You get discounts on private sessions. You get discounts and VIP information on classes that are coming up. So there's a lot of perks. That's only $33 a month. So you can check that out. You find the membership over there on micheleamburgey.com. Conscious Living Academy, which is an accredited academy. So I got a lot of stuff going on, guys. YouTube is just a small part of it. And again, those of you that are just joining us, I'm going to be doing this particular show on the first Tuesday of every month. Bridge Walkers is going to be on the second Tuesday. And I think on the third Tuesday, we're going to have a healing modality. We probably won't start this week, but we'll probably start it next week. So it's going to be fun. So I wanted to let you guys know about all the changes that are happening. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm not going to have such long videos either. So the videos are going to be a little bit shorter. So people, everybody's so busy. And so we don't want to do a ton of stuff. But without further ado, we're talking about star seeds today. We're talking about angelic star seeds. Did you guys know that you guys are here, and especially those of you that are coming here, and those that are going to catch this, whose frequency is going to hone in on this? It's going to show up on your YouTube. You're going to be drawn to look at it. You guys are angels. You are angelic humans. You are here coming down through the stargates, through the wormholes, they're stargates, guys. They're stargates, bringing that angelic energy here onto the planet. And so you're here and you're listening to it. And this is part of the remembering. When we start hearing these things, it begins to open up the codes within our DNA. That's part of why the Schumann resonance is off the charts, is part of what all these solar codes that are coming in are trying to activate this DNA. This junk DNA that we hear about, it's junk. It is not junk. It is just deactivated. And we have massive amount of help activating it. And today, the 8 Lyran Lion Starseed Stargate is part of that activation. So make sure that you sit in quiet energy and sit in a space of receptivity to receive that, and it will really help you. So what is a starseed? Oh, itchies. What is a starseed? Hey, Reb Ned. So happy you're here, honey. Reb Ned and I just got off a wonderful meeting about our show for Bridgewalkers next week. Also, Bridgewalkers is going to be starting at 4 p.m. Next week too. So we moved that time up. So lots of adjustments. So I know you guys, we'll get used to it. I'll make sure I get information up so that you don't miss anything. So what is the star seed? One of the first things that we have to understand is star seeds are basically incarnated extraterrestrials. Oh my God. Kind of freaky, especially the way that we've been introduced to extraterrestrials, as these big monsters that are taking over the world. They're evil and they're violent, but they aren't at all. We all have that terrestrial energy in us, and it's part of what our DNA is too. So we're going to be talking a lot about DNA encoding, because when we talk about it, what happens is I'm uploading this information. I get it from other things, but I upload this information. As I am speaking it to you, the frequency of my voice is part of the keys to help to open up that DNA for you. It's frequency. Our voices are that powerful. We're awakening each other through our voices. Okay, those of us with that intention. There's some that are shutting us off through their voices too. So we want to be careful of the music and the sounds and the voices that we listen to too. But as an angelic starseed, you are coming in with that angelic energy that is that pure love energy. And you also are coming in with the extraterrestrial. And the thing is, the two are not that different. They both come down from very similar pure love streams of energy. So an angelic starseed is that beautiful hybrid of the two that is required for us to work on this moving into that fifth dimension, to be able to hold this timeline split that's coming up in the highest frequency so that we can get the heck on out of this finite, trapped in the reincarnation process, right? So, as a star seed and having this energy, our soul is extraterrestrial. It totally is. And it's not even our soul. It's literally when we incarnate in our physical body, the DNA in this, which is the recording of our history. It's basically the Akashic records of our own beingness, because the DNA isn't a physical thing, right? They can read it, they can get signature off of it, but it's not a physical thing. It's an energetic thing, and it comes in with our soul. That's why our DNA has the records of everything everywhere, our own Akashic records, but also the history of the universe. That's where these CDT plates that come in with the Keylontic teachings that have a lot of that information, and we all have it within us. And this is part of what this journey is going within and becoming connected to our inner selves in a deep, deep way so that we really begin to remember who we are. And we're talking about angelic starseeds. So, what are some of the traits for those of you that are star seeds, but also the angels and the star seeds have very similar traits. And so we're putting it under angelic starseed. One of them is that even as a child, you may have felt like Earth wasn't really your home. It's not that you don't love it. Usually angelic starseeds love the earth because it's so beautiful, right? Earth is so beautiful. The air, the sense, the feel, having this physical body we can feel and we can see, we can hear the vibrations, we can feel it everywhere. It's so beautiful, but we also feel like maybe we're from somewhere else. Maybe we don't belong here. It's not that we don't love it, but maybe we don't quite belong here. You have a deep desire to go home, right? And I know when I was little, that used to confuse me a lot because I wanted to go home, but I was home, but why didn't I feel like I was home? A lot of times you don't know where home is, right? It's like, but I just want to go there. I just want to go there. And, something to think of, it might be another star system or another planet that you're longing for. Um, a lot of times too, star seeds and angelic star seeds just kind of feel out of place. You never quite feel like you fit in, right? And part of that is because nobody really understands your cosmic mind. You have this cosmic mind that is wide open to so many things, more than someone who is not an angelic star seed. You have the ability to understand concepts and have perceptions and be involved with thought processes that are beyond what you even know sometimes we call that intuition. Sometimes we call that psychic ability. All of that is coming from something we already know deep within us, something that we already have. And so that's another part. It's like nobody really understands this massive consciousness that we stem from, that we bring in with us. Now, when we come into human form, we're given that veil of forgetfulness. It's part of the contract. Got to read the small print. We forget. And part of that is so that we can go through the process of remembering. We're very connected until we're about 5, 6, maybe 7 years old to the divine flow. And then we begin to get separated, get kind of indoctrinated more into the earth plane. But more and more, we're coming in. And I'm an old indigo angelic starseed, right? I was born in the 60s, early 60s. And so we had, those of you that are in that age group, in that youth group, we had a long haul to go, but now we got kids that are coming in, and so many of them, they're born with this massive consciousness that already are operating in it. It's so exciting. It's so fun to see all that. But a lot of times people don't understand that cosmic mind. A lot of times kids are labeled ADHD, ADD, autistic. Like there's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. They just don't fit in this finite form anymore. And they're part of the transformation, right? A lot of times angelic starseeds really kind of like being alone. A lot of times we long for companionship, but a lot of times the companionship just doesn't make us feel comfortable, seen and heard. And so we kind of love being alone. We like being in nature. We like sitting out on the grass and watching the stars. And a lot of us are really sensitive to other people's energies too. All of you empaths out there, right? You might be an angelic starseed because we feel and we're so sensitive to other people's energies. And I'll tell you, I've got a class on my website that is about empaths and how your sensitivity is really a superpower. And if you're struggling with that at all, you might want to go check that out. I think that it's like $44. I've got it for sale on my website, and it's hosted over there on Vimeo. So I've got a lot of stuff on my website that can help you with some of this stuff as well. Another thing that angelic starseeds a lot of times are into, they're kind of fascinated with space and stars and sometimes even UFOs, right? I knew when I was a little kid, my cousins they lived in Utah or Tahoe, and we would go visit and they'd be like, oh, look, there's UFOs. And we saw some really crazy stuff. And I never thought to question if it was real or not. A lot of people are like, oh my God, you believe in that? I'm like, of course. And even as I grew up and I got older and I heard opposing views, I was still like, no, of course, because we know there is life. We know there's intelligence. We know there's consciousness outside of this. And so we tend to be really fascinated with that. A lot of us are really fascinated with crystals too, because many of the ancient beings, many of the ancient civilizations encoded um, into the crystals a lot of this knowledge and wisdom because they weren't sure what was going to be happening into the future. And a lot of people feel, and I have had an experience or two along these lines, that these crystals with the encoding also helps to open up our memory that's in our DNA as well. So if you're like totally into crystals and totally into that, it's probably because it's helping you open up and to remember this. A lot of us prefer looking at the night sky or just the sky. I just love staring up at the sky. I love looking at clouds. I love the sky. When I was little, I used to lay on the grass and look at the night sky, and then I would feel like I was falling up, if that makes sense. Oftentimes you have dreams of being places that don't exist, right? They do. It's a memory. Another thing that star seeds, angelic star seeds, even indigos, um, we've always felt like there's a bigger purpose than just what we're doing. I know oftentimes I've had points in my life, it's like, what is the point of being here? There's got to be something more. This is stupid. Get up, go to work, earn a living, come home, have a beer, do some fun stuff. But what's the point, really? What's the point? A lot of star seeds, no matter what age we are at this point in time, a lot of people are really questioning that. It's like, what's the point? And sometimes it can lead to mental and emotional struggles and depression. So you want to keep an eyes out for our fellow angelic starseeds. If anybody's struggling with that, definitely mental health, contact me. I work with stars. I've been working with indigos for 20 years, not really understanding the magnitude and the importance. In some of the studies that I do, they're called the Ioni, and they are the master beings. They're the angelic star seeds. We are the angelic star seeds. We're the Ionis. So if anybody's struggling with that, because it's like, what's the point? What we do here is the human things. We're like just little ants. But what's the point? You have an inexhaustible compassion for animals, for children, for life itself. Maybe it's for plants or trees, even rocks, crystals. I love crystals, animals, trees, children, of course. And it's just this deep, deep compassion. You tend to be highly intuitive mind. We know things. We don't know how we know, but we know. And it's now labeled as intuition. Oftentimes people perceive it as something that we get from out there, but you don't. You get it from in here. You get it from that encoding. If you have intuition, it indicates that your DNA is beginning to align, is beginning to come back online, right? So that's a good thing too. You have a life where there's many times where you have synchronicities, right? Where all of a sudden things just start lining up. The whole seeing the number sequences, right? 11, 11, 222, 111. all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times it tends to happen in batches. It tends to depend on the kind of where your frequency is resonating at. If you're having a bad day, not feeling so good, sometimes you'll tap into 1111 to remind you. It's like, oh my gosh, yep, I need to take a breath. I need to remember who I am. I need to let go of all this nonsense. Um, Again, fascinated with crystals and how crystals tie into healing, energy healing. You tend to understand the concept of geometries and healing modalities, and also kind of like frequency, like how frequency works. And it's like you don't know, but you know. And I know a lot of times I've totally understood like what Tesla's talking about and what Einstein is talking about. But if I had to explain it to you, I couldn't explain it to you, but I knew what they were talking about. That kind of a thing. Because we have it in our it's a knowing within the body that hasn't quite bubbled up to be able to be expressed through the mind and through the mouth. And maybe it always doesn't need to be. Sometimes it just needs to be experienced in the frequency fields. We don't always have to move it through the mind. Matter of fact, a lot of time the mind is a part that suppresses, shifts, change, and distorts the information. So make sure you don't feel like you have to be able to express it for it to be real. If you know it without knowing it and you don't know what it is, but you know it, that counts. Okay. Um, Oftentimes you are spiritual seekers. You were what would be called a disciple, a seeker, someone who just wants to learn everything you can. And it can be a broad range. It can be reading oracle cards, learning energy healing, could be going into the occult, which please be careful because the occult can lead you down dark pathways, and they love the angelic starseeds. Yummy, yummy, yum, right? Always make sure you're doing things that are keeping you in the vibe, staying in the light, and really pay attention to how your body's feeling. But we have that ability to go into deep, deep, deep places and expanded places as well. Another thing you need to do that's really important is make sure that you are grounding, right? A lot of times it's grounding into your heart. It's grounding into the root chakra, bringing your energy in, and grounding into beautiful Mother Earth. A lot of you feel like as well something is coming, like there's a great event, there's something happening, something is coming. What is it? Oh my gosh. Because if you're here right now, if you're listening to this right now, no matter what age you are here for this shift of ages. And it's not going to happen like a light switch being flipped. It started back, what is it? Oh my gosh, has it been 10, 11 years ago? In the December 12th or December 21st, 2012. Remember that? I literally thought I had all these people at my house. Everybody spent the night. We had a party. We were so excited. We all thought we were going to wake up in fifth dimension. But that was an opening. That was the beginning of a door. And part of the reason it takes so long is that the entire cosmos is lining up. And there is a lot of stuff out there that is lining up, but the doorway is open. And this lion gate is really, really, really open that doorway more and more and more to the center of the galactic spaces where other time frames, other what are called time matrices, we all line up. So it's not just our little 15th dimensional time matrix, it's into the different cores and the different Cathara grids and the different centers, from the center where the will of God is known. It is the very center of creation, the primal sound fields. And so do you feel like there's something coming? There is, and it's you. It's you. It's your awakening. We are the portal. Starseeds are the portal. Angelic starseeds are the portal. We're holding that love frequency. So thank you for being here. And a lot of times you're smiling right now because you get what I'm saying. Or you're going, hmm, hmm. What if this is true? Right? What if this is true? What if everything I'm saying, or even a little bit of what I'm saying, is true? That you truly are this angelic starseed being who is so magnificent, so amazing, so expanded, so powerful. You are alchemists. Struggle is not your way. Ease and grace is your way. And when we remember who we are, when we begin to give ourselves the opportunity to think about this, to ponder this, to be like, we begin to open those spaces up where we step into who we really are, into our power, into that essence of the angelic starseed. And, we're here to awaken ourselves. But when we awaken ourselves, we become the way showers for all the others. And not because we have to do anything. We don't have to save the world. The world's got to save themselves. That's part of this whole thing too. There's no more sacrifice on any part, and nobody can save anybody. It's a personal journey. But when we do our own, others will look and say, wow, what are you doing? You're like, hey, Linda, what are you doing? You seem happy. Hey, Tammy, wow, you're looking good. Miss Jules, your life looks like it's going good. Rev Ned, I like the way things are going. What are you doing? And then you can share with them. And a lot of times you will be the one that pops them open, pops their memory open, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's true. I do feel that way. That's why we're here. And we're here to do it in joy and fun. It's not supposed to be work. It's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be fun, doing the things that you love to do. What do you love to sing? Do you love to dance? Do you love to paint? Do you love to create? Do you love to art? Do you love to garden? Do you love to clean your house? Do you love to do pottery? What is it you love to do? What makes your heart sing? Do you like to color in coloring books? I love doing that. I love coloring mandalas. I could just spend the rest of my life doing that. What do you love to do? And it doesn't have to be one thing. It can be everything. You are unlimited. You can do what you want to do. More and more of your life that is spent on doing what you love, you're going to find those things that you struggle with just work themselves out. They begin to dissipate because that's alchemy. Being in love and joy in your heart and soul and in your life, acting on those things, even if it's an itty bitty bitty bit, it begins to alchemize everything around you until your life becomes a living prayer. Rev Ned and I were talking about ceremony, that life should be a ceremony. Your life becomes a living ceremony when you're living in your joy, when you recognize that you are here as something, someone, a being that is so great and so magnificent, an angelic starseed, Ioni and Indigo, that are connected to the Lyrans, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Syrians, Syrian B. They come down through this ancient lineage that are billions of years old. We have it in our DNA, guys. It's so awesome. It's so freaking awesome. And it's coming back to life. We're remembering. Isn't that cool? Isn't that amazing? I also want to tell you about Starseed. I got some information, and I apologize to whomever I stole this from. I forgot to get where I got it, but I'm going to read it. If you guys know who it is, please let them know that I boo-booed and couldn't give credit to, but I definitely honor where I got it. So it said a starseed is an incarnated extraterrestrial ET, a human whose soul incarnated from another planet or star system or dimension, right? And a starseed is a human from Earth with a human and or extraterrestrial parent, or one with recent ET ancestry. So you could be someone who literally physically have an ET parent, which what is being said to me right now is most of us do. It doesn't mean they know, right? And there's another word that they use for a starseed is called an alien kin. So it's like the kin of an alien. This is the starseed, aka alien kin, incarnated from another planet as a human on Earth in order to complete their divine mission. Right? And your divine mission is basically to remember who you are. A lot of us, and I know me totally, I kept thinking I had to heal the world. Right? I started learning energy healing and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to heal the world, And it very quickly became so monumental, so huge, so vast that it became overwhelming. And I kind of felt I was a failure. I felt I was failing at what I was doing. I'm trying to help people, but they won't help themselves, and trying to help people and they become dependent. And, there was a long journey of figure out how to do and to stand in this space as a healer and as someone who uses my intuition to help people, and, doing the life coaching and stuff that I do. And there's a fine line. So it was really interesting. But what happens is we learn these things because we learn to be standing up and being that presence that allows others to be that. So it's really, really cool. It's really cool. And I'm so glad that you guys took the time to be here and to learn about this. I would love to see your comments down below. And I appreciate all the comments in the chat too, because it's super fun. But also comment below, like, are you a star seed? Are you an angelic starseed? Are you feeling like you are? Does this video, does it kind of make you think about it? What does it make you think? How do you feel about that? Because there is a part of you that may be very much in resistance, because there's a lot of us who have incarnated throughout time who's kind of gotten our butts kicked. I almost said the A word. I don't want YouTube to kick me off, but we got our butts kicked, for standing up and being who we are. But here we are at the shift of changes. You mighty warriors of light, you courageous beings, you beautiful angelic starseed, you're here again. We're all here again, and we're all finding each other. And that's what's so fun. We're supposed to play. And this is a fun venue on which to play too, right? We get to be here and it's so fun, and we get to see each other where normally we wouldn't see each other, right? Right? Miss Jules is going, in that age group. Yeah, a lot of us are. I think a lot of us, we got a lot of the youngins, that are awakened as well, which is so cool. And a lot of the young ones too that are awakened like this, they've got all the technology stuff going on. I've been playing with AI and doing some graphic-y stuff with AI, and I've fallen down the what do they call it, the rabbit hole of the AI thing. And these kids are like boom, 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 and just creating stuff left and right. And I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. And so that's a lot of our starseed kids too. Our angelic starseeds are the ones that get this whole AI thing, which is fun. It's like, oh my God, literally, it's a whole new world and it's a whole new language. But I'm in there playing. I'm playing with my little starseed friends. So thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for not just coming here for the show, but thank you for being here on this planet at this time. And I want you to remember that you're not alone. You're not alone. We're all here together. And reach out. Reach out to each other, reach out to me, come and play with me. I got so many things going on where I'm, trying to help everybody move along and stay connected to each other. Make sure you're doing a little prayer meditation every day. Prayer is, beloved and holy presence, I am. Be with me today and help me to be the best me I can be. And meditation is just listening, not even for an answer, maybe just to what's going on around you. Tuning into the world around you can be a very, very powerful meditation. So, Rev Ned, thank you so much. Rev Ned saying hi, blessings to everyone. And Rev Ned and I will be here next week with Dana. We're going to be doing Removing the Veils of Fear and a ceremony for love. So we're going to be talking about that and doing that. And Rev is going to have one of his amazing videos. Dana's going to sing. I'm going to do a meditation to bring you into alignment with who you truly are. Angelic Starseeds, I hope you're there, because I'm talking to you and everybody else that is ready to really line up to who they are, because the Angelic Starseeds aren't the only ones who are here, for this shift of ages. There are many other consciousnesses that are here, the God conscious, the master beings, the alchemists, and we're all kind of intertwined. So blessings. Thank you. Thank you guys all for being here. I love each and every one of you so much. It is an honor that you guys are here and that we're sharing this space together. So we will see you next week for Bridge Walkers. If any of you guys need to reach out, please check my website and see all the stuff I've got going on. Okay, there's all kinds of things. YouTube, my YouTube is full of all different kinds of videos. Use the resources that I've been working diligently for a decade to bring to you guys and and make sure that you're giving yourself an opportunity to be the magnificent angelic starseed that you are. It's so exciting. Mwah. I love you guys. We will see you next week. Bridge Walkers with Rev, Ned, and Dana. I love you guys. Be good and stay sparkly.